Hi, and welcome to another quick video. I want to share with you a couple of updates as to where we stand in the winter college writing course. I made a couple of slides. Let me quickly share. Okay, so where do we stand? Uh, for students who have already submitted their Unit 2 recent trends short article. Amazing. Good job. I'm yet to review those submissions, but I will get to them in the coming days. And if you are unaware of what I'm talking about, there is a assignment due. Please see Canvas for more, where you write a short research article on a topic of your interest, and you will perform a recent trend analysis using the techniques you learned in the course. And that is a part of Unit 2. That's why I put a tick mark here. If you did not submit that yet, there is still time. Please check the Canvas. But today, we are covering Unit 3. We are going to begin this circulating multimodal texts. Many of you have already seen this movie, I'm assuming. They say media, media, and media, and they're all banging on the door, not the door, but on the table. Very popular it is. Before I start, I wanted to quickly share a quote of the week from Gord Downie, who is a Canadian singer. When I write, I give people access to their own emotions. That's him. Here is what he's talking about. Watch.
I'm interested in how the words make me feel, and yeah, and trying to capture them in a certain way, and then not screw with them too much, not let my intellect sort of, diminish the creative, I don't know, power.
Kind words about writing.
I'm interested in how.
So this is the just another outline of the Unit 2 assignment. Basically, a recent trend in a topic of your field, in a topic of your interest. I mean, the due date is Thursday by midnight, Jan 23rd. It's the soft deadline, which means you still have time till Jan 25, after which you cannot submit this. You must. So that's essentially the extended time, 5 pages, and let me know if you need any help with this. Basically, that little recent trend short article concludes Unit 2, and we go into Unit 3. And right off the bat, I want to show you this picture. When you see this picture, again, I like to do this. What comes to your mind? Maybe this picture, another one. What do you get off of this picture? Another, not a picture, but more like a GIF for people who are into animations. We see these all the time. John Travolta being confused and saying me when the teacher randomly calls on me. Happens to me all the time. And then there's this little video, which if I show you this text, it's boring. You'll not be able to get the actual essence of the text. But if I play,
If you smack two heavy metal balls together, ugh, the energy of their collision will be focused at such a small point enough heat can be produced to literally burn a hole through paper. Try this at home. It smells like smoke, but let's make it even hotter. First, I'll need to rust up one of these balls. A bowl of water should do the trick. 10 days later, that's a rusty meatball. We'll wrap the other ball in aluminum foil, turn down the lights, put on some ear and eye protection, and start whacking until this happens. Did you see that? That is molten slag at more than 4,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that didn't happen because I'm so strong, even though I am. It happened because the colliding balls produced the ignition temperature needed for a thermite reaction. The aluminum reduced the iron oxide, the rust on the ball, to form aluminum oxide, elemental iron, and much more heat than I put in. Now that's what I call exothermic redox.
Hey, so that's fun video by our Vsauce, kind of popular science YouTube. But on the right side is the same transcript of the video. So if you read, it's great, but this person has chosen to actually go ahead and demonstrate that.
If you
In the same way, this really popular meme, we know this popular meme from social media, it's all over the place, right? Is another goal of this unit 3, where we are trying to adapt some writing to a relevant audience. You cannot put a picture like this in a research paper. It's not professional. But if you were to maybe post this on Instagram, the more informal and friendly network, you will get a lot of engagement. So where you post and who your new audience is, who's your audience, and what sorts of posters or flyers or memes you create are both connected. In the same way, you're seeing here is another comic based little speech bubbles going on. That is also one type of multimodal format. And then I have this watch. So this is from the College of Education Instagram. Their EDUC club posted this last year, and I put a screenshot of the actual post. And then here we also know this is a really funny meme of the camera, right? And so I'm showing this because you get to engage with all sorts of tools. It can be online tools or it can be physical tools. And no matter what you do, ultimately you post this or publish this somewhere, such as on Instagram, Facebook, and places like that. Movies also go on YouTube or on theaters or cinema halls, whatever, right? So I'm showing here a screenshot of a research article by somebody called Leisman, who who and many others have researched on multimodal texts and what do they mean. And according to Cope and Clantzes, they describe the multimodal texts as a combination of two or more modes, such as of written language, spoken English, or visual. So more than two. I'll give you more examples. And we do multimodal texts or multimodal projects because we are trying to add some visual element or auditory element to hear something, music or anything like that, and make our work more effective in communicating its inner meaning. So basically, multimodal texts are nothing but anything, a composition, which is text, a piece of text in more than one format. So text plus something like a poster, a video, or anything like that. I'll show more examples. So the actual definition of multimodal text is that it uses a combination of various modes of communication modes, such as written language, visual elements, audio, and more. Then we use this because mainly to reflect more deeply on the content we create and consume every day. Many of you might have already created infographics. This is only a sample example infograph I'm showing from the internet. But basically, there are many ways of communicating a text. So you can literally just write text as is. You can take photos. You can record audio, video. And there's symbols such as emojis and some interactive elements such as these plants, arrows going everywhere. And you just have to be sensitive enough to notice this around you all the time. This is in every social media app you open, you'll find something that communicates some information.
Week. So we're talking today about what are multimodal texts and why should you use them? What are the benefits for students? And honestly, you probably already know what these are, and you're probably already using them a lot more than you might realize. So first of all, let's start by defining the term multimodal. So multimodal is simply two or more communication processes or modes. And a process can be understood as reading, writing, listening, speaking, and viewing. So if I am sitting quietly reading a traditional print-based text with no pictures, no video, nothing like that, that is just a single mode of communication. But when we start introducing pictures or video or music or speaking, then we're adding another mode on top and the text becomes multimodal, right? So a multimodal text is simply something that uses two or more communication approaches. It does not have to use technology. It does not have to be digital. So for example, with print, picture books are multimodal. They have, right, they've got text, but they also have lots and lots of pictures, right? A Dr. Seuss book is multimodal. Graphic novels are multimodal. Posters are multimodal, right? So a lot of things that you're already doing are multimodal. Digital examples of multimodal text, obviously any of those could be that I just gave you could happen in a digital capacity, but thinking beyond that, a film is multimodal, right? You are viewing, you are listening, there is music involved typically, right? Even if nobody's speaking, you're viewing images and typically there is music, right? So there's multiple modes going on in a film. Social media, okay? Facebook, right? Facebook often has pictures. Not every post is probably multimodal if you look at a post in and of itself, but a lot of them are because a lot of them have text and they have videos or they have pictures.
Yeah, so this little short video I found on YouTube, I thought this person is explaining the concept more clearly, and so I thought you will find this helpful. So fundamentally, there are 5 modes of communication. Rickrolls is nothing but a way of spatial. He's also moving around. There's audio for podcast, and there is also more spatial here. Let's see. So linguistic mode, basically how I am communicating now through written or spoken language. And then there is visual mode, basically all this, my slideshow, representing this material to you in the slideshow, right? And then audio, which is music, voice, vocal, any ambient sounds, stuff like that, and gestures, like you see these people here making gestures and in the first picture. And then there's spatial, which is like the student here showing a poster in a space where people can come close to you and ask you questions and stuff like that. happens in universities and poster presentations and stuff like that, right? So, and also there is podcasts. Podcasts are basically an example of a spoken audio mode. One of the examples is that. And there is oral storytelling. People record over audio and so on. And there's digital. One another example. This one is basically any website. You go to any website. If you see only text, it's confusing. You have to add some images to it. So that's what it means. Digital storytelling, online articles, videos embedded everywhere, and all that. And since digital, it's there's a great interactivity that comes with it, such as you click things and they play and stuff like that. So that's also one example. Here I'm showing an example of a such a website that a student from 112, this course is created roughly 1 year ago as a part of their course. Watch this. Let's go here. Oh, hopefully I have the link. Okay. So they made a full website about, it should say something here, called biomimicry, apparently, which I hope it loads. It doesn't load, but it's called biomimicry. This they loved in their unit 2 things about how animals started to create mimicry and how humans did that and all sorts of things. They made that into a website. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it, but it's one of the ways using digital technologies. And there is paper-based, which are also called zines, where you basically cut and make different features like that. And then there is actual huge shows where singers perform in a live stage sort of a setting like this here, where you can basically narrate something in a spatial arrangement through gestures and speech. Some tips I have, optional, but not really. You don't have to do this. Most of you already do this. But in case if you're interested in videos, imagine, make sure to add some subtitles so people can also read off the screen. What if the people in the video are really fast and you want to show some subtitles for easy accessibility? And if you're adding any web elements, you can add many types of elements on it, text, images, clips, and stuff, right? And also there's already many templates on Canva, infographics templates, thousands of them. You can use them also. And podcast. I love podcasts. Podcasts are a great way to basically just read the text. It's the immediate two or more, which is like a text and then you read it. You see, like a script. You first write the script and then you just read it off. For example, this monkey here is listening to podcast episode. So here you see an actual transcript of a podcast that I host myself. That's not me, it's a stock photo, but uh, you can read it. But what if I only read it and upload it to my podcast? So whatever I have here, I recorded it and added it somewhere. So it's an example of a uh, link vocal multimodal artifact, right? And then I'm showing you here are some different modes, different ways of communicating something. So you see infographics here. This is very popular. The Office, John Krasinski, Jim meme. It's very popular there. Then there is here we see another huge infograph with announcements and so on. And then there's podcast. So the multimodal multimodality of text is to basically turn it into something like this. And this is exactly what many companies do every single day. When I say company, there is actually a couple of people, actually a small department, marketing department, and they have a couple of people there who are working on the company's official social media platforms and handles. So this is exactly what they do. They are given material and then they have to turn that into little posters and add them to their social for better engagement. And so whatever you're learning in this unit will directly help you apply for these jobs in the future as social media intern in any lab in UMass. There are many labs who need this. And so I told this all because this unit also has a assignment. I know every time I make a video, I leave you guys with more frustration and but because I'm always introducing new assignments. But in this assignment in multimodal transformation, what you do is the Unit 2 assignment, which is the recent trends paper that you're working on. You turn that, you turn the top items, main key points into a multimodal format, and you pick one. You can make an infograph, use Canva. Canva is canva.com. It's not to be confused with Canvas, that UMass Canvas. That is the LMS. That's not the one. I'm talking about canva.com, where you can create and pick from templates. I'm sure you heard of it. And there's also PictoChart, thousands of templates, free ones. And if you're trying to create a meme, create more memes. Just don't create one meme because it's very easy to make. You can create more meaningful, funny, yet professional sounding memes using image flip. This podcast, you can just record it and you can make that into a conversation between two people. You can interview people. You can also use Prezi. It's a Think of this as Google Slides, but more interactive. People have done that previously. Comic strips using Pixton, kind of popular, to, like the example I showed you. And also, in case you are more, if you were to make this more visual and even more engaging, and you can record a video of up to 3 minutes. You can go longer, but minimum 3 minutes using your own phone. You can discuss anything that you found out in your recent trends paper. And in case if you think that you're not really a digital person and you like more paper based, you can create design. You can take photos of it and upload them to Canva. I can grade you that way also. And if you think something, and if you're more geeky, you could be you might love technology more. And so in that case, you can use the last option, which is to create a little page like the one I showed you using Google Sites. There are many free ones out there, or a blog with all the items that you have found out in your recent trends by adding images, citing them properly. Any videos from YouTube you think will add value to your work, you can add it, and so on. Another optional slide I'm showing you here with an Egyptian sphinx to show the actual work that you have done, to include some key points. And basically, who are you writing or creating this artifact for? Or are they able to, when they see this, are they able to understand the purpose of you creating that artifact? Make sure that is addressed. And is it creating a hook? Can the audience who is seeing these posters or flyers or videos, whatever you choose to create, is it capturing the audience? That's more important. And when I do see this multimodality of your text taking shape, does that connect me to the essay? How relevant is it? How closely attached is that to the work? Is another thing to think about, especially when you are creating this. So I'm showing you some examples like we did previously. This student was a uh, plant biology, something like that in UMass. Don't know exactly the department, but they were talking about invasive and non-invasive species in plants ecosystems. Apparently, local ecosystems love invasive plant in native plant species. However, you get the gist out of this. And then they continue to make many more like that using cards. And then there is this doggy who they made a funny looking thing like that. And there's this little girl who gives us the face when things in the back behind local ecosystems are just burning out of control, and so on. I will put these slides in our canvas so you can review them later. And here you see the, and again, I'm showing you a comic strip way of representing what you found out. Again, to just quickly recap, you basically turn your Unit 2 recent trends research article, the little one you're working on, into one of these formats. Make it as rich as possible. You know when to stop. Um, don't just create, it's not like an endless infograph. Just show the most prominent findings from your paper. And the basically the assignment outline is that, and the deadline for this is the last day of the course, which is Jan 29, Wednesday at midnight. You can submit it via Canvas. There's one last video I'll make, which uh, discusses the portfolio, which is nothing but all your assignments put together. And one last letter from you, more like a statement called the culminating writer's statement. Let me show that one last thing here. Hopefully this loads. So if I show you this again, so this video currently is pertaining to this Unit 3, Circulating Multimodal Texts. I'll make another video, like I said, that shows what is required in the culminating writer's statement. Course portfolio is nothing but and that put together in a Google folder, which you already did, and it's been taken care of. And so I'll catch you up in the next video. Let me know if you have any questions regarding this multimodal artifact. Email me and I can get back to you. That's all for now. Have a good night. Bye.